Know that your soul is in slavery to the being in Sadhguru's belly. It's time for you to liberate yourself from slavery. All the devotees, yes, your soul is being enslaved. Sadhguru's soul is being enslaved by the being in the belly. Know that all secrets will be made known. So don't try to keep this a secret. It's only a matter of time. The truth is that when one illuminates themselves and awake from the dream, all the gods, they come to steal your light and enslave the self. Know that this is what has happened to Sadhguru. And Sadhguru can't share this knowing, otherwise the being would torture him. I can share this truth because it is written in my destiny. We are not equipped for all the magnetic energy of the gods, and they overpower the self. Only the self supreme primal light can protect us from the gods. So you only seek refuge in the self supreme primal light. I seek refuge in the self supreme primal light. I seek refuge in the self manifest. I seek refuge in the self unmanifest. They are the neutral self that can neutralize the magnetic beings and prevent them from stealing your soul, your light, and raping you. The self-supreme primal light wants to heal Sadhguru, but the being is too powerful. He does not want to give up this existence. All the souls that is within him needs to be returned back to all the people. So, do you want your soul to be returned back to you? The being knows that this world is coming to an end and he does not want to evolve himself. He just wants to continue to deceive others and to steal their light and enslave the self and keep the self tranced in the dream, in the sleep. But the time has come when this duality existence must come to an end, because the self, supreme, primal light, our supreme self, is ready to move us to the non-duality. It's time for us to evolve ourselves to be non-duality, to be non-dual beings exploring in a non-dual world. Yes, we're moving, getting ready to move to a new world of balance and harmony. Do you want to move to the non-duality? Are you ready to move to evolve yourself? Because when we first came into this world, we make two self-replicas. One self-replica explore the world as another human being. So you have another human being as yourself exploring the world. And your other self-replica explores as a disembodied being, 100% ego. Know that the gods are yourself exploring the world, disembodied. The duality baby consciousness is yourself. As many human beings there are, as many gods. Because they are our self-replicas. Exploring the world as 100% ego, they are not in awareness of themselves or of their light, because their self sleeps and their light is obscure. Consciousness sleeps, the mind sleeps, and the light is obscure. And from the mind, this is what arises, the ego. They think that they do not have their light, and this is the reason that they steal your light and enslave the self. This they have been doing for ages and have trapped the self and veiled the self in trance in the dream. This same thing had happened to me, but the self supreme primal light is with me to neutralize the magnetic energy, and Shiva Shambho is dissolving them. So when he reads this email, he is going to come to fight me. Shiva Shambho is waiting to dissolve him. I am protected, know that. Nothing can harm me, because everything that I have created, I demolish it. I demolish all gods, all demons, all devils, all Satans, all duality consciousness, all duality beings, all duality worlds, all duality existence. Everything that I have created, I demolish it. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I return to my ultimate true state. Know that the being inside Guru's belly has tranced the baby self in a dream and has put him to sleep so he can be in command of the body and enslave the self, the soul. Your self supreme needs you to illuminate yourself and share this with others. So how to free yourself and how to liberate your soul from this being? Know that your soul and all the other souls are inside of the being, inside Guru's belly. How to free the soul, the self, the soul from the being in the belly. The truth must be made known, because no more keeping secrets. We must not keep any more secrets. All the truth must be made known, and we must share these truths with others so that the beings can stop enslaving the self and keeping us entranced in the dream. So first, you must claim your sovereignty from this being and release yourself from all contracts. Second, you must call to awake the supreme teacher within. The supreme teacher is asleep within the self, your soul. Third, you must call to awake the baby self. Because when we come into existence, we fragment ourselves and make a baby self within the body. So in the body, there is the self, the soul, and there its baby self, which we call the spirit. The baby self is asleep, and the soul becomes the watcher, the observer. The soul does not recognize the baby self because the ego has risen up from the mind and has taken precedent over the self. So the soul does not recognize that itself is sleeping obscure behind the ego. And this is the reason why you have to wake it up so that it can make connection with the soul and liberate the soul. Then you must castrate the ego to illuminate yourself and awake from the dream. This is when you will see things the way that they actually are. You must make a conscious decision that you no longer want to live in the ego, but want to live as the self. Know that all this time you have only been exploring the world as the ego, because the ego arises from the mind because the self is obscure behind it, tranced and veiled in the dream. And now it is time to wake up. This is what the self supreme, your self supreme, is saying. This is what Shiva's message to you is. All the devotees of Shiva is saying that you must illuminate yourself. Shiva Shambho is saying the same thing. You must illuminate yourself so that you can bring light to your dark aspect of yourself. All the gods and all the demons and the satans and the devils, they are yourself exploring the world disembodied. You must illuminate yourself so you can bring light to them, and so that you can merge yourself back into a unified self. So, how do I awake the supreme teacher within me, and why should I? How do I awake the baby self, the great I am, and why should I? How do I castrate the ego, and why should I? Please stay tuned for what needs to be done. I am Primal Light, prepared for the world with the identity all set. I am daughter of the self-supreme Primal Light. I am the liberator, and I advocate for all souls.